it's Hope and welcome to the video. As you can tell by the title, this is going to be my review of Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I am going to first state off that this is going to be all over the place, probably not that informational, so if you're looking for information on the book, probably not best here. This is just going to be my thoughts and my reading experience with this and all of that. So, I'll briefly say that this book was originally a DNF back last year in 2020. When I read the ebook. But then I decided to borrow the physical book here from my library as well as the audiobook. So I listened to the audiobook with the full cast and the physical book, at the same time. So I will talk a little bit more about the audio in a second. But essentially, if you do not know what Illuminae is about, third time's the charm. I've tried to explain this 3 times, my brain hasn't been able to compute words. So essentially, we have a small planet colony that is attacked by 2 mega corporations, and any remaining survivors they flee in 2 different spaceships. And when a deadly plague breaks out on a 3rd spaceship that is also carrying people from this planet, our main character of Caddy starts to research into it because the people on the spaceships aren't being told the truth, and as she finds the truth, she realizes that the only person that can help her is her ex-boyfriend Ezra, who she swore she would never talk to, and it is told in mixed media. I'm trying to see something it's told in mixed media, this is, for example, an interview, a transcript, security footage, a diary entry, classified information, and so much more. But the way that it's told is so well thought out, because for example, a good chunk of the book is told through the AI on one of these spaceships. It's told the way that it's told through mixed media and interviews, emails, all of that, but you still are able to get a grip on the characters. I will also say that, again, back to the audiobook the audiobook is what made made this good for me, because it is told with a full cast. So for example, the main character of Caddy has a narrator. The main Ezra has a different narrator. A character called General Torrance has a narrator. The AI has a narrator. There's briefing notes that are told in, are said in a different person's voice. Every voice of every character is different. And the way that, for example, if it's something when it's for example, in an audio transcript, it would be if it's the way that it's written, for example, isn't the way it's said. If there's a pause and it literally says pause in the book of on an audio transcript of an interview, there would just be a pause. There was also this kind of sci-fi music in some of the sections of there's just things like this. There would be a little bit of an audio of a of a hearing thing. But just I don't really even know why I wanted to film this review, because I can't really put into words the way I feel. This was a 5-star. It went from a DNF to a 5-star solely because of the audiobook, really. But this book, I would literally have to say, is one of the most unique books I've read, because the way it's also so scientifically detailed, in my opinion, but the way that for example, this virus is airborne, and the way that we're literally talking about little details of the air vents, how it spreads, how it controls the body, and then also details of how having to hack, or how Ezra and Caddy, they talk through like a rerouting thing that like, it's like the little details of like, oh my gosh. And like, I guess this is a minor spoiler. I'm trying to like say this all without spoilers. So this is gonna be a minor spoiler for like the next 30 seconds. Essentially, but like the way that also we think, like characters die. Characters die in here. But the way that we think Ezra is dead for like half the book had me mentally not able to handle that. Spoiler over, I guess. But like, just, it's so detailed, and I'm dying to pick up the next book. I literally have both the audiobook and the physical book requested from my library, and that's gonna take like 2 months, and I'm just like, I wish I had the money to buy both of those, but I don't. But I am curious to see where this goes, because, for example, the AI, again, I guess mild spoiler, the AI of Aiden, for example, was seemingly destroyed, but it's actually not. So I'm excited to see how that element comes into play in book 2. And I'm really excited to see how the company that, let's just say the company that kind of destroyed the colony, how that's going to come into play in book 2, but also, I guess this is kind of just spoilers, I guess, from now on, but also the way at the very end we meet Ezra's mother, who is seemingly a bad person. I'm very curious to see how that's gonna go. And just overall with this book. Again, it's so well written, it's so like, it's the mixed media is so good. Highly recommend the audiobook. I'm trying to think of other little details I want to mention. Again, I don't really know why I did this review, because I'm just saying the same things over and over again. But I guess just how detailed the characters are, even when you're not seeing their point of view. Technically you're seeing nobody's point of view is something that I also liked. And the way that this book is kind of all just about, okay, trying to tell the truth, trying to find the truth. I love that, like, and then I also loved Caddy and Ezra's, like, their banter and the way that it was just like, all of that. But then also when it's revealed that, spoiler, that for a good chunk of their conversations, it was actually the AI of Aiden pretending to be Ezra, broke my heart. I literally cried. I cried at that, and then I cried at the ending when they're reunited. And this book I also read in like a weekend. I literally started it a Thursday and I finished it a Sunday. So it was like 4 days to read, and it's a chunky, it's like 600 pages. The audiobook was like 12 hours. I did listen at 1.8 speed because, well, everything else was too slow. Because I always listen to audiobooks on at least 1.5 speed, sometimes more. Like the audiobook I'm currently listening to, I think I'm listening to it at the 1.8, no, I'm listening at 2 times speed. So like, yeah. But I'm going to end this video here. Let me know your thoughts on this and all of that. I just felt like I wanted to talk about this for like 2 seconds because I just feel like I needed to talk about it. Even though I'm just saying the same things over and over again. But like, you get what I'm saying when you feel like you need to talk about it. So you just film a video and just for shits and giggles. Or is that just me? But I'm so excited to pick up the next one. I've already mentioned that. I'm literally trying to think if there's anything else I need to mention, but I can't. So I'm not going to. I'm going to end this video. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, even though it was pretty much me just saying the same things over and over again. But that's kind of how my reviews are, is like, I'm just like, I more talk about the enjoyment factor than the little details. But I really hope you enjoyed this video, and bye!